How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Okay, I got the message, my royal family. Quite a few of y'all asked me to do a video about these volcanoes. There are two volcanoes that have went off, one in Mexico City and also in the Philippines. And I had to research this for a while because it was some stuff that I was even interested in that happened in Mexico. And I will show that to the royal family. So I said I got to condense this down. I do have a bonus video because I see that there is a connection with the enemy likes to call it UFOs. They are actually chariots. And I have seen enough today to convince me that the chariots must go to the volcanoes. That must be their source of power, a fuel or some type of source that they use that they go inside of there. But there is numerous sightings, and I'm only going to show one. There is no doubt in these people's country, they have like a time-lapse camera on these volcanoes, and you can see activity around the volcanoes. So let's go over here to this first one so we can see what's going down over here in Mexico City. I cannot pronounce the name of that mountain or that volcano. It's one and the same. I can't pronounce it, so I'm not going to jack it up. So let's just take a look and see what has happened so far today. Fox, you did your thuck thizzle. So I got real curious, and I had did a video back in October. I think it was approximately October 21st, and that's when they had a big tornado that hit Texas shortly after the Amber Geiger trial. And I distinctly remember that particular mountain. And I distinctly remember watching a video showing a chariot leave the volcano and go back in the volcano. The same volcano that just went off. So I found some footage so we can look at it. Let me blow it up for y'all. And this is the volcano that just went off. This is 28 seconds. I'll show it twice. And that's an active volcano. And I'm assuming that that's, like I said again, their source to fuel up. I think. Well, you never know, because this is all coming from the divine hand. They don't necessarily have to go to a volcano per se to get a source. Okay. Let me be quiet so y'all can check it out. There's many of them. Wow, that's amazing. There is something going on in the universe. And these are not UFOs. These are chariots. And they're launching from the mothership. So let me go. This is in another country, and I don't want to go to another country right now. Okay, let me get it back to where it needs to be. Let me shut this off. Excuse me for that. I want to go back to the two that we already seen. Okay, let's open that up one more time so y'all can get a nice view of that. You can see up on the top. I know y'all can't see my mouse. You can actually see some steam or smoke coming from the top of the mountain. And the enemy calls it bizarre. It's not bizarre. It's real. It's very, very real. Okay. Let's get this second one again. Okay. There it is. Check it out. You see the eruption. Amazing. Amazing footage.
Sí nos afecta por la vista cuando empieza a caer la ceniza, se nos llenan los ojos. Cuando tiene uno gripa, se siente más feo las vías respiratorias.
La noche, el día de ayer, como a partir de las 7, 8 de la noche, se identificó un poquito, intención volcánica, una humarola, así como de aproximadamente de 1500 a 2000 metros pies de altura. De igual manera, después de ello hubo material incandescente que empezaba a derramarse, ¿no? Sobre encima del cráter, y pues sí llevó un tiempecito el de rocas.
All right, my royal family. I just wanted y'all to get a shot of that. And let me see here. Now, we had volcanoes also going off in the Philippines. And I love when people film their own stuff, because I listened to the news, read the article and all that. You could barely hear what these people are saying. And I do not ignore when y'all tell me that the sound is janky. Well, the sound won't be janky on this one, because I like how this man covered this. And this is from his cell phone. So we get a bird's eye view of what's popping off in the Philippines now. And I did check, but I'm not going to show it. They have had sightings of chariots coming in and out of their active volcanoes too.
So we're currently here in Tagaytay, and just a few minutes ago we're seeing another plume of smoke and ash coming from the crater of the Taal volcano. The small crater to the right that you see is not actually the main crater, but the main crater is actually somewhere far or somewhere near that node. Just like that, there was a lightning bolt that came in, and we can experience thunderstorms here.
Okay, we got a little glitch going. Well, let's roll with it. We'll see what happens. I think it happened on their end. Yeah, because you can see it's moving. we'll give it a minute and see what happened. And that was actual ash coming down and rain coming down. They getting the whole gamut, you know. So it's gonna be a slush over there in those people's
A lot of
country.
people are trying to see for themselves what's going on here, but we really do advise people who are in Tagaytay right now or who are still in the area to get themselves some sort of protection because volcanic ash can actually injure your lungs. So we also try and dissuade people from coming near where the smoke is coming and find ways rather to protect yourselves from all this volcanic ash that we're experiencing right now. And this is quite the view here from the Tagaytay Econo Hotel. It's just near one of the main roads here in Tagaytay City. As you can see, still a big plume of smoke and steam we can see from this part of the city over here. And we'll just turn a little bit and see what the traffic situation is like over here in Tagaytay City. Those are vehicles, by the way, which you can see on the main road. I couldn't pan closer, but you can see a lot of them are covered, especially the white ones. The white tricycles and the white van that's just passing over here, they're all covered in ash. All vehicles here, no vehicle is spared from the ash here. But even us, when you are trying to come here, we can feel or we can see that the ash is trying to cover up our windscreen, and just like that. The rains are still coming over, and there's already dark clouds over here at the back where one of the main roads are. The people trying still to manage traffic in and out of Tagaytay City as we speak. So I'll probably be... So this is our current vantage point right now. This is inside Tagaytay Econo Hotel, where a lot of our media colleagues are also coming in because there is a shot of the volcano just behind us, where the ash, and we're still experiencing ash falls over here. But do know that coming into this area is quite dangerous, and staying for prolonged periods of time in volcanic ash might injure your lungs. So that's why in a little while we will also be getting ourselves some protection. And let's just pan back to where the image is, or where the eruption is coming from.
All right, my Rayo family, I felt like that was much better to show, what the locals are showing, because the way they was giving the news was real janky. I'm telling you, janky. And I know y'all not going for it. So, did get some really good shots here, spectacular views of the volcano, and I'm like, whoa, check that out. Check that out. So it makes a lot of sense why these chariots would go in and out of it for their fuel source or energy source. And like they've been saying that, breathing that stuff for a long period of time will injure your lungs. Some people wearing it, some people not. Some people don't take heed. But there is a bird's eye view you can see with the rain and the ash falling on the folks. Boy, they can sure ride the hell out of a vehicle. Damn. That stuffed the whole family in that joker. Yeah. Here's another shot. Get the best shots at night. There's folks. Look at that stuff. This ain't no joke. Wow, look at that car. Amazing. Amazing. There's something going on, my royal family. And the way things are going along, and anybody that's empathic the people that are empathic and feel what they feel, we know something is going on in the universe. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see throughout the enemy's year, many things. This is not our new year. Let's keep that on our frontal lobe. March 19th is our new year. So, I said that I had a bonus video for the royal family. I think some people may have seen this, but you never know. So I said I'll play it anyway. And it'll speak for itself.
Is something really out there? 3 more U.S. senators received a classified briefing about UFOs at the Pentagon, or in current lingo, unidentified aerial phenomena. You may have heard that pilots and other military personnel have been reporting these kinds of sightings for years. A couple weeks ago, the Department of Defense even released footage shot by a Navy Super Hornet pilot. But you may not have known that back in 2007, Congress directed the Pentagon to set up a $22 million search for the truth. And Tom Foreman is with me more on the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program. So Tom, talk to me about these senators getting the classified briefings on UFOs.
Yeah, well, here's the interesting thing. It's easy to laugh at this, easy to think it's silly or it's just a bunch of hokum out there. But Senator Mark Warner, who is the vice chair of the Intelligence Committee, said, look, I think it's important. He told us just this afternoon, I think it's important that the military is taking this more seriously now than they did in the past. So what are they taking seriously? Those videos you were talking about relate to a couple of different sightings we're talking about. In 2004, there was one called the Tic Tac sighting. They called it that because they said it looked like a Tic Tac flying out there very close to the water on the West Coast. And then more recently, there were some out on the East Coast that people were talking about, 2014, 2015, where these pilots were describing seeing these things up to 30,000 feet in the air, flying at extraordinary speeds, hypersonic, well over the speed of sound, changing direction in the most astonishing ways, and seemingly defying the laws of physics. Listen to what one of these pilots had to say.
No distinct wings, no distinct tail, no distinct exhaust. It seemed like they were aware of our presence because they would actively move around us.
So that's what has everyone excited here. These reports, the release of these videos, and you mentioned the program. That was originally started by Senator Harry Reid because they said, look, we just need to know what's going on. It only lasted about 5 years. It's been shut down for a number of years. And they said they really didn't find anything. But Brooke, you know, the obvious question here is there something out there? Not necessarily extraterrestrial, but is there something else? Some kind of drone, some kind of secret technology, something that maybe we control, maybe we don't.
So, yeah, maybe they'll get to the bottom of that. I know that in April, the Navy actually issued guidelines for pilots to report any sightings of the unidentified aerial phenomena. Are you surprised this kind of information is now getting out to the public?
Well, I think it's been a long time in coming, Brooke. I mean, this is the sort of thing back early in my reporting career, some 30, 40 years ago, you would hear about. But at the time, it was just sort of released as a bunch of crazy conspiracy theorists with a bunch of ideas out there and people taking pictures of an odd-shaped cloud in the sky. I'm not really surprised that we're finally getting to the point of looking at this more carefully, and particularly, Brooke, when you think about the technology we're dealing with today. We're dealing with technology that we really haven't seen before. Remember, when the first stealth fighters came out, there had been pictures of these things taken from very far by civilians saying there's some kind of strange aircraft out here that we've never seen before. Eventually, we found out what it was, but initially it was just a mystery. So I think for a lot of people who aren't looking for space aliens, this is still very interesting because they're saying, is it something, even if it's not space aliens, is it something that will make a difference in the future? And again, is it something that the U.S. is controlling, or is this some new technology that somebody else has developed?
30 seconds, Tom. What has President Trump said about this?
You've got to listen to what President Trump said about it. It's really interesting. ABC asked him about it. Listen to his comment.
Well, I think our great pilots would know. And some of them really see things that are a little bit different than in the past. So we're going to see. But we'll watch it. You'll be the first to know.
So the top levels of government, they're talking about it, Brooke. No answers yet, but a lot of questions.
All right, my royal family. I almost want to chuckle at it because most people that do videos, we pay very close attention to language. And they said threat. It's us out there. That is it. That is all. And keep in mind, we are out of our captivity. It may not feel like we are out of our captivity, but there are going to be things that are going to be exposed to the royal family to show us we are out of our captivity. We will get our full strength back. So this is not surprising at all. And they've been monitoring this stuff for eons. So for the enemy to even talk about it and put it out there, they're seeking something. They're concerned about something. So let's not lose sight of that. But out of respect, I'm trying to change up my language, and I don't want to call it UFOs. There are chariots. And I have told y'all this story before. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. I seen that so-called tic-tac in the sky. I didn't have a clue what it was. Didn't really put a lot of energy on it. So I happened to, actually it was in 2015, now that I think about it. So I decided to watch a video. And Farrakhan was talking about this experience that he had. I think it was September 17th, I think 1986. Don't hold me to it, but I know it was September 17th. After he let the government know the dirt that they was doing or plotting to do, he left. There was a sighting. When I looked at the sighting, it was identical to what I seen. And I said, I be damn, I seen that and didn't know what I was looking at. Now, I have let people know that I was born in Phoenix, Arizona, but I was raised in California. And it is a known fact that people know when Farrakhan is in Arizona because there are sightings. The chariots follow Farrakhan. I have physically felt a chariot over me, and it talked to me, told me to stop eating seafood. Believe it or not. Yes, it did. It can talk to you. Definitely. You don't hear anything. The words just resonate within your soul, my royal family. So I just thought I would show that bonus because when I was doing my research about the volcano eruption in Mexico, I said, damn, wait a minute. Didn't I just talk about something along the line where, and I was looking for the video and I got tired of looking for the damn video. And I said, I think I talked about that to the royal family, that there was a sighting, and I did the calculations of the distance between Texas, Dallas, Texas, and where they got slammed at back in October. And I said, I'd be damned. There's something going on in the universe. That's all I can say. And I often say, pray and meditate and listen to the universe. That's all I can bring. So there's many things going on, my royal family. I will report another video about the fires in Australia. And also, I ain't lost sight of what's going on in Puerto Rico, too, as well. And it seems like Australia, she has let her cry out. She wants the Aborigines to have her land back. It's going that way. You can see it's going that way. It'll be always some cave beasts hanging around trying to have an inkling of power. But what we are watching, my royal family, is on a global scale how the divine hand truly feel about his babies and how they've been treated and disrespected, and how ultimately in the end he has been disrespected. Trust and believe. I often talk about being in the spirit world. You will fully submit. So my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.